Hello JJ community, hello yogis, and welcome back to the mat with me. And welcome to your Āsana Vinyasa class that integrates the Yamas and the Niyamas. If you're wondering what those are, the Yamas and the Niyamas are the first and second limb within the 8 limbs of yoga, and they are attitudes or behaviors that we apply to ourselves and others so that we can come into right relationship with ourselves, others, and the universe. If you're like, okay, I still don't get it, you can head on over to the links in the description below that offer outlines of both the Yamas and the Niyamas and classes to help you better understand them, okay? Also, this is what we are focusing on inside the Body, Mind, Soul Studio. The past 2 months have been super centered around the Yamas and the Niyamas, and now this month we are completing the rest of the 8 limbs of yoga. So we're focusing on Āsana, which you are experiencing here today with me as a preview, pranayama, there are 3 pranayama practices, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So that is all happening inside the Body, Mind, Soul Studio. If that interests you, you can click the links popping up on the screen or the link in the description below to learn more and come join us. I can't recommend it enough. Also, I have to give a shout out to the Galapagos Islands where my husband and I currently are with 𝗪𝗙𝗃, our sailboat. We sailed here from Panama. It was a 7-day sail, our longest sail yet. And we are now on the island of Santa Cruz, and we are so blessed to be here filming at 𝗄𝗶𝘵 Boutique Hotel. This hotel is an oasis of nature and wildlife. Already we've seen giant tortoises roaming the property. And also this boutique hotel specializes in yoga retreats. So if you're a yogi and you're searching for a nature-filled vacation, this is your spot. The Galapagos are wonderful. And if you're a yoga teacher searching for a place to host a nature-filled retreat, they also specialize in hosting retreats with you. So to learn more about this amazing boutique hotel, which you can see a glimpse of it behind me throughout our practice today, you can click the links in the description below too. Yeah? All right, so for this practice, I am gonna recommend 2 blocks, but aside from that, all you need is yourself, a willingness to learn about the Yamas and Niyamas by infusing it through your yoga practice, and of course, your yoga mat. So unroll that baby and let's begin this Āsana Vinyasa practice that integrates the Yamas and Niyamas. All right, yogis, so to begin this practice, we will start in child's pose. So you can choose knees wide or knees closer together, depending on what you need in your body today. Walk those fingertips out towards the top of the mat, and then soften your chest and your forehead down to the mat. Take a moment to arrive here, to arrive on your mat. Come into your body and invite your breath to become present. As we rest here in child's pose and move through the first few yoga postures, I want to bring your attention to the first yama, ahimsa. Ahimsa is nonviolence, non-harming, and loving kindness. So how in these first few yoga postures can you extend loving kindness towards yourself? Continue to ask yourself that as you move and breathe. All right, next inhale, lift up into a tabletop pose and come into cow. So inhaling, exhale, child's pose, send the hips back. Inhale, forward cow, extend through the collarbones. Exhale, back, child's pose. Inhale forward into loving kindness. Exhale to practice non-harming. Inhale forward. Feel yourself embodying ahimsa. exhale back, child's pose. And rise back up into a tabletop pose. Walk your knees, your feet a little bit further back, preparing for puppy pose, Anahatasana. Stack the hips over the knees, gaze forward. Extend your hand with a big step forward. Extend the other hand and soften the chin or the forehead down to the mat. Anahatasana is a heart chakra posture. And the heart chakra is concerned with love, self-love and love for others, compassion for yourself and the world. And so it's very fitting here to think about ahimsa and practicing nonviolence and non-harming and extending loving kindness in this pose. So allow yourself to really embody that principle, that attitude, that behavior here in this posture as you hold for the next few breaths. And on an inhale, lift the head, gaze forward, hinge forward onto the belly. So soften the thighs, hips, and belly towards the earth. Coming into Sphinx pose, we want the elbows shoulder width distance, elbows underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit forward, wrists in line with elbows, fingertips spreading. Push your forearms into the earth to lift your chest, and then use the traction of your hands to gently hug the heart through the gate of your arms. And now let's move through a cat-cow-like movement. So inhale, exhale, relax head and neck. Bring the spine into flexion, round the back. Doesn't need to be dramatic. Inhale, Sphinx. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now inhale to hold Sphinx pose. Again, bringing your awareness back to ahimsa, focusing it at the heart space, at the Anahata chakra, and thinking about embodying and fueling yourself with loving kindness, and asking yourself, how can I practice non-harming and non-violence within my yoga practice? And then how can that support my life off the mat? One more breath. And now curl the toes under, prepare for forearm plank. So firm the belly and lift the belly, the hips, the thighs, the knees, and meet me in forearm plank. And here in this challenging posture, as you create one long line of energy from the heels all the way to the crown of the head, really active body, engaged awareness and attention, how can you be loving towards yourself here? Do you need to drop the knees? Do you need to breathe a little deeper? Do you need to push the ground away a little further to create more stability? Couple more breaths here, thinking about and feeling ahimsa. Final breath. Soften the knees down and walk the hips back towards the heels. Come into child's pose. Beautiful. Coming forward into cow pose again, so tabletop pose. Hips under, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Inhale to extend the spine. Exhale, curl the toes under, send the hips back and high, Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll keep moving dynamically like that. Inhale, soften the knees, extend the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, down dog. Let's do 3 more just like that. Bringing our awareness to the second yama, satya, which means truthfulness. So how can you extend truthfulness to yourself right here in this moment? What does that mean for you as you transition from cow pose to downward facing dog? What adjustments do you need to make? What variations do you need to take? All of that comes into satya and embodying truthfulness, yeah? When you come into your next downward facing dog, please hold it here with me for 5 breaths. And as you breathe from fingertips up to the pelvis and down the backs of the legs, think about what truthfulness means to you right now, both on and off the yoga mat. And gaze forward, tiptoe your feet to the top of the mat, meeting me in Uttanasana, forward fold. Feel free to bend those knees, relax head and neck, and hang for a moment here, taking a final, or bringing a final awareness to satya, truthfulness, both speaking and living our truth in relation to others and ourselves. And now begin to bend the knees and slowly roll the body up, acting like a yoga zombie, using your core to stack the vertebra one by one. Shoulders lift up and back, and head and neck lift high, and you have arrived. So moving into a low lunge sequence, this is where I'm going to recommend some blocks. Be ready, and I like them on the tallest setting, okay? You can choose once you get there. Step to the top of the mat, inhale the arms high. Exhale, forward fold through the midline. The core supports you as you fold into yourself. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to shins. Firm the arms as you extend from tailbone to crown. Exhale, step the right foot back, soften the knee down, and meet me in a low lunge Āsana. This is where you might want to bring your fingertips to the blocks. If you don't have blocks, fingertips to the earth, okay? Moving again through a cat-cow-like movement. So inhaling to extend through the spine. This is going to be subtle. Exhaling to shift the hips back and drop the chin. When you do that, you should feel a sensation along your right hip flexor. And then inhale to hinge forward. Lift the chin and chest. Exhale, take it back. And inhale forward. Exhale, take it back. So focusing our awareness this whole time on the third yama, brahmacharya. One more time. Back and forward. Brahmacharya means to move towards your essential truth. So what is most essential for you in your life? And come forward into low lunge. Shift the blocks forward, curl the back toe under, lift the back leg, come into a runner's lunge here, extend from the back heel all the way through the crown of the head. Core is firm, the front leg, you're pushing down through the earth plane and feeling this activation here, right? And then you're sending the right hamstring towards the sky. All right, and now you can stay here and just hold the pose, or bend the knee and soften the knee towards the earth, and then lift it back up again. So as you do that, I'll keep talking about brahmacharya, Brahmacharya is also known as moderation. So to only do what's most essential would be moderation. It would be to be in a state of harmony or equanimity or balance, right? So as you move through this next set of postures, I want you to do what's most essential for you at all times. What feels like balance or harmonious to you. Final set or final round. And then come back into this runner's lunge and straighten this front left leg to come into a wide-legged pyramid pose, relaxing the chest over the top leg, the top thigh, sending the left hip back in space. And now inhaling forward runner's lunge. Exhale back, pyramid pose. Keep moving like that. Asking yourself, what is essential here? What do I need? Do I need to hold pyramid pose? Do I need to hold runner's lunge? Do I need to shorten my stance? Do I need to grab my blocks now? You know, what do you need? What is essential for you right now? This time when you go back to pyramid pose, let's hold for a few breaths and focus our awareness into this posture on what's most essential here. Now inhale, forward runner's lunge. Hold a few breaths. Bend the back leg, step the right foot to meet the left. If you've got a block, bring it up into your inner thighs, preparing for Utkatasana. Bend the knees, send the hips down towards the ground and lift the chest for chair pose. So as you hold chair pose and breathe, really using the legs to support you here, the core is firming. You feel this long line of energy from the tailbone up through your fingertips. Bring your awareness to the fourth yama, asteya, which is non-stealing. So even though this pose is challenging, how can you not steal from yourself in this moment? How can you give yourself the strength you inherently have? Breathe here with me. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the block. Inhale, back up, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Couple more. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. And fold. Last one. Inhale, Utkatasana. Let's hold for 5 breaths. I know it's difficult, but how can you embody asteya and not steal from yourself? And inhale to stand up straight, release the block, place it back where it was. We'll move to the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, fold through the midline. Use your core to guide you down towards the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins. Firm the arms as you extend from tailbone to crown. And then send the left foot to the back of the mat. Soften the knee down, Anjaneyasana. This is where you're going to use your blocks again. So grab the blocks, hug them right underneath your fingertips here, and we'll move through cat-cow together. So inhale, really subtle movement here, extend through the spine. Exhale, shift the hips back, drop the chin. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, take it back. Two more. And now shift the blocks towards the front of the mat to frame the front foot. Curl the back toe under, come into that runner's lunge. Create that long line of energy from the left heel all the way up through the crown of the head. Firm the back leg, feel the hamstring lifting towards the sky. Firm the core, feel it lifting away from the right thigh. Push the right thigh into the earth. Oh yeah, there we go. And now stay here or choose to bend and straighten the back leg. Breathing as you move. And now still focusing your attention on 𝗪cie, the fourth yama. How can you not steal from yourself in this moment? How can you be uber present? How can you bring your awareness into your body to create that alignment and integrity and strength that you need to support the posture, right? And now come back into runner's lunge, straighten the right leg and drape the chest over the right thigh as you send the right hip back in space. Legs are active. Wide-legged pyramid pose. And inhale, forward runner's lunge. Exhale, back pyramid. Inhale, forward runners. Take it back. Bring it forward. And take it back. Bring it forward. Take it back, and this time hold for a few breaths. Asking yourself, how can I be so present that I'm not stealing from this moment? The answer on the yoga mat is combining your breath with the posture, so breathe here. And inhale, back runner's lunge. Hold here for just a few breaths. And now bend the left knee, hop it forward. Let's remove the blocks off to the side and prepare for crow pose bakasana. So as we come into crow pose, and if you're new to crow pose, actually you can use this block to rest your forehead on in case you're worried about falling forward. That's a great trick. But feel free to start practicing crow pose as I'm talking. Let's come to the fifth yama, which is a parigraha, which means to not hold on to not grasp, to release the grip that we have, to stop trying to control, right? Or to hoard, to take too much. So as you come into this posture, crow pose, which is a intermediate to advanced arm balance, how can you not grasp or grip onto the outcome, right? How can you not hoard the result of the pose? So as you practice crow pose, allow yourself to be in the moment here and embody a parigraha. We've got a few more breaths to keep practicing. Remembering that this is a practice. There is no perfection or mastery, which means time and time again we come to the mat and we have to release the grip. We can't hold on to anything. We always have to approach it with a parigraha. Just because you did crow one day doesn't mean you need to do it the next day, right? Last pose, or last moment for crow. And release. Take it back, downward facing dog. You might also want to soften the knees and come into child's pose. You choose. 5 to 10 breaths here. So the yamas that we just covered are mostly concerned with our behavior towards others. Of course, it's also with how we treat ourselves, but it's kind of like the 10 Commandments. and how we should behave in the world, or the golden rules. And so now we're going to transition into the niyamas, which are much more intimate and much more internal, and chiefly concerned with the relationship we have to ourselves. They sustain the yamas, so they help us continue to practice the yamas in our everyday lives. Alrighty, so if you were in child's pose, meet us in downward facing dog and extend the right leg back into three-legged down dog. Flex the heel, roll the right hip down in line with the left, and just feel the strength here. And breathe into your body. The first niyama is 𝗪𝗁, and it means cleanliness or purification. And the best way to do that is through your āsana and pranayama practice. Choose to stay here, or you can bend the right knee and open the hip, sending the right knee high to the sky. If you tend to be hypermobile here, please firm your core to support this opening. Now, big inhale. Listen carefully. Exhale the right knee to the right elbow. Take it back. Open the hip. Exhale, knee to elbow. Take it back. How can this movement and the combination of your breath purify toxins, tension, stress, maybe some negative self-talk or limiting beliefs you might have? Or how can it also support your dietary choices and your lifestyle choices off the mat too? So 𝗪𝗁, one more. And now take that knee high to the sky. Stay here, or you can flip your dog. So move really slowly for that transition. 𝗪𝗁 is concerned with purification on every level, body, mind, and soul. And gaze towards the ground, come back to that three-legged dog, or back to a downward facing dog. So everyone meet me in down dog. And now extend that left leg back and high for three-legged dog. Flex the foot, keep the hip in line with the right. So this is getting challenging, right? It is for me anyway. You can bend that knee and open the hip. So let's bring our attention to the third or the second niyama, santosha, which means contentment, an attitude of acceptance. How can we be content here? How can we feel like, okay, I'm doing my best and I am enough in this moment? Big inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Maybe enough for you is resting in child's pose. Take it back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Take it back and high. Open the hip. Inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Take it back and high. 2 more times, knee to elbow. As you do this last one, I want you to think to yourself, I am content in this moment. I am enough. This is santosha. Knee back and high. Option to stay or flip your dog. Take your time. Breath here in your flipped dog, also known as wild thing. Gaze down to the ground. Come back into downward facing dog. Last time here, so take one big breath. And soften the knees down to the earth. Swing the legs around to the top of the mat, preparing for Paschimottanasana. So if you've got a blanket, that might be really nice here. You can also fold up your mat for a little bit of support and just sit on the edge of your mat here, okay? That'll help lengthen the spine and tilt the pelvis forward so you're not compressing or pulling too much on the lumbar spine. So this is a new way of doing Paschimottanasana, and I want to explain it first so we understand. We inhale the arms high. We exhale completely. At the bottom of the exhale, we fold forward to our edge, right? The furthest we can go. And then we inhale back up. We exhale completely, and we go back down again. So we'll do that 5 times, moving dynamically, and then we'll hold Paschimottanasana at the end, okay? Also know that when you bend forward, you can always bend the knees as you bend forward too, okay? So inhale the arms high. Exhale completely. Fold forward, holding the breath. And inhale back up. Exhale completely. Fold forward. Inhale back up. Exhale completely. Hold the breath out. Fold forward. Inhale back up. And now let's pause. I want you to do 2 more rounds on your own, extending your breath retention as much as you can. So when you exhale completely here and you fold forward, stay as long as you comfortably can and hold the breath retention. So hold the breath. And then when you need to, rise back up on an inhale, okay? So we'll do 2 more on our own breath. So inhaling, arms high, and then you moving through it at your own cadence. And on this next one, once you fold forward, hold Paschimottanasana, and of course, please breathe here. Allow yourself to relax. You can make this much more restorative and add blocks here. You can widen the distance of your legs and really round the back and relax the head and neck, more of a yin-like pose. You choose what you need, okay? Let's take 10 breaths here and bring our awareness to the 3rd niyama, tapas. So tapas means heat, it means fire, it means spiritual discipline and dedication. It means to burn away our impurities, and it means transformation. So tapas is so eloquently paired with your yoga practice or any spiritual discipline of your choosing. Here in this posture, as you stay and you hold, how can you practice tapas? How can you allow yourself to really be okay with spiritual discipline, right? And not resist it. I resist it quite a bit. How can we let spiritual discipline transform us, right? Because it will. It always does. Two more breaths. And start to lift back up. All right. Unroll that mat and let's lie down onto our backs, coming into bridge pose. We'll do a few pumps and then we'll hold the posture. So lie down, knees are bent, feet are planted, palms are down by your sides. Firm the core and push into your heels to lift your hips high. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And lift. Pushing down through the heels, lower, sending the knees forward and keeping them hip-width distance. Inhale, lift. Feeling the backside body supporting the posture. Inhale, lift. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Inhale, lift. This time, maybe you want to walk the shoulders underneath you and create a bind with the hands and send the hips and the chest a little bit higher. Breathing. Thinking about tapas and spiritual discipline and dedication and how that creates transformation in your life. Two more breaths. And slowly lower back down, coming into happy baby. Who doesn't love happy baby? So send the soles of the feet up towards the sky. You can take peace fingers around your big toes or grasp the outside of your feet, whatever feels right for you. And then hug your knees down towards the floor using the strength of your arms. And feel this really nice elongation from the crown of the head down to the base of the spine. And yes, feel free to rock back and forth like a baby. And now bring your awareness to the 4th niyama, svadhyaya, which means self-study, self-reflection, to get close to yourself, a sense of belonging, and also the studying of spiritual texts. So svadhyaya is any activity that brings you closer to yourself and helps you learn more about yourself. It's really creating a relationship with you. So these next moments, these next 5 breaths, how can you embody svadhyaya here in happy baby? How can you feel a sense of belonging? And slowly release happy baby. Extend the legs long, preparing for Shavasana. Take them wider than your mat. If you have any props you need, now would be the time to integrate them into this final resting pose. And as you make any of those final movements and soften yourself into the floor and feel the support of the earth plane, allowing you to surrender, I'll bring your awareness to the final niyama, Ishvara Pranidhana, which means to surrender to a higher power, to lay your actions at the feet of God or whatever it is you believe in, knowing that if we do our best and if we show up with the right intentions, at a certain point we have to let go. Release expectations, release control, and put our faith in the universe. So allow yourself to embody Ishvara Pranidhana, surrendering to a higher power as you settle into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Letting your breath awaken your life force energy. Letting your breath awaken you to the yamas and the niyamas and how they can support your practices both on and off the yoga mat. Beginning to make subtle movements with the fingertips and the toes. And progressing to the ankles and the wrists. And when you feel ready, extending the feet long and the arms long, and keeping this sensation of surrendering to a higher power present. And bend the knees, come onto your favorite side for fetal pose. Feeling this sense of wholeness and integration and right relationship with both yourself and others. And now pushing your hand into the earth to lift yourself up into an easy seat, Sukhasana. Let's seal this beautiful Āsana Vinyasa class with the unifying vibration of Om. So sweep the arms out to the side. Let the palms touch overhead and hug the hands down through heart center. Take an inhale to prepare for Om. Open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me in that practice. I really hope, even though it was a lot of information and a lot of concepts, you picked up a little bit along the way and felt that sense of how the yamas and the niyamas, the first and second limbs, can in fact support your modern day existence. Even though these ancient lessons were created so long ago, they were created by humans for humans, right? To support our everyday existence. Remember, if your curiosity is piqued, and you're also looking for an online yoga community to support the evolution of your yoga practice and your yoga experience, then please, please, please come check out the Body, Mind, Soul Studio, where we are always focusing on a monthly Body, Mind, Soul lesson. This month, we are going further into the 8 limbs of yoga, focusing on Āsana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. However, if you're interested in going back, you can always revisit the yamas and the niyamas to get the full 3-month experience. So to learn more about that, you can click the link that's popping up or in the description below. Also, lastly, if you're a yogi looking for an incredible vacation or a yoga teacher looking to plan an incredible retreat, check out 𝗪𝗏𝗏 𝗪𝗏𝗏 here in the Galapagos Islands. Also, that link is in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll meet you back here next month to keep living our journey. Apply to ourselves and others to come into right relationship with ourselves and the others. Nope.
Good class.
Where's all the turtles?